Hello and welcome to Mint. I'm Elizabeth Roach. In this episode of From the Newsroom, we have with us staff writer Anuja. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We also have with us Professor Jagdeep Chokkar of the Association for Democratic Reforms. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We are here to talk about a report released by the Association for Democratic Reforms on how political parties are funding their activities. My first question is to you, Anuja. What does this report actually talk about?
So basically, ADR for over a year filed RTIs to the IT department and to the Election Commission of India to find out what are the end financial incomes of these main national parties and a lot of regional parties as well. What the study throws up is how over the years substantially the income has increased, how donation through several bodies like say corporate bodies or listed bodies or trusts by these listed bodies have made those contributions. It also shows the fact that there are a lot of these donations, a lot of these contributions that never go public. For example, the BSP claims it has no named contributor because it never got a contribution for more than 20,000 rupees. So that's the kind of thing that the report points out at.
Professor, if I can bring you in here, what are the most worrisome aspects, that your report has brought out, according to you?
The kind of information that political parties give in their income tax returns is very difficult to understand and figure out. The formats they use are unusual, non-standard, and the figures that we see do not seem to be anywhere near the figures that are often talked about in the conduct of elections. Obviously, there would be an explanation that candidates spend money in the elections and political parties do not spend, but that explanation only goes so far. There is a very strange phenomenon called sale of coupons. Hundreds of crores of rupees are collected by political parties through sale of coupons. These coupons are nowhere on record, and this effectively means cash collection. And people who give this money and who buy these coupons, there is no record of those. There are also parties who claim that they have never received any donation of more than 20,000 rupees. And some of these parties have income of 400 crores, 500 crores. So there are multiple levels at which this information is very, very disturbing, and it highlights the fact that unless political party finances and funding are brought out in the public domain, we cannot hope to make any dent on corruption in the country.
Anuja, coming to you, the Election Commission has introduced certain, measures. For example, candidates have to give their assets, declare what their assets are. Political parties have to do something similar. What are the other reforms that are needed, do you think, which will make this whole process much more transparent and root out corruption?
So, picking up from there, I'll give you an example. Like today's report tells us how there are 18 regional parties across India which never filed these income tax returns or their total income returns. So that's about it, shows how there is a lack of will from inside political parties to make these things public, to tell people how much they are getting, how much they are spending. So I think that's where the root of the problem is, and we need to have laws that penalize political parties, laws which say that, okay, if you don't follow XYZ guidelines and violate it, we'll penalize you in so and so way, which is something that's currently not happening. Also, there are a lot of, from within the civil society and experts also, there is a demand that there should be something which enforces the internal democracy within a political party, whether it is through a policy, through a law, or within there is an agreement where political parties want to do it. But I guess penalizing internal democracy and this will of having accountability towards the people that these parties serve are basically the key points of how we can get to further transparency in these political parties.
So basically what you're saying is that we need to do a lot more to bring in transparency and accountability into how political parties are funding their activities.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us, Anuja.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
That's all in this episode of From the Newsroom. Please stay tuned for more.